I am not interested in defending the Democratic Party versus the Republican Party. I'm a Democrat. I'm a proud Democrat. There are reasons why I'm a Democrat as opposed to a Republican. But my only interest, and this was my only interest when I was a state assemblyman and a city council member, is representing the interests of my constituents. And so, when I was in the Democratic majority in the state assembly, when I was in the Democratic majority in the New York City Council, I was fighting for the interest of my constituents vis-a-vis whatever my Democratic colleagues might have thought were the interests of their constituents. So I'm not in this race to be a spokesperson for the Democrats. And my policies and the things that I want to achieve are not defined by blaming whose party got us here. I'm not interested in that. Thankfully, I come to this campaign to make the case to the public with a record of achievement for my constituents that says, hey, this guy is not just talk, he actually gets results. I've passed laws to make life less expensive. I've passed laws and effectuated policies to make our communities safer. I've passed laws and effectuated policies to expose corruption in government of either party. When I was in the city council as a Democrat, the mayor, Bill de Blasio, was also a Democrat. I didn't care. I sued him twice because I felt that he was breaking the law in a way that affected my constituents. So, I voted for the 2% cap on property taxes, and that has saved Long Island residents tens of thousands of dollars a year since that went into effect. When I oversaw the Public Service Commission for Governors Cuomo and Hochul, we forced PSEG to give $30 million back to ratepayers because we determined that PSEG failed in providing the services that it was supposed to provide. I mentioned earlier when I was on the vice chair of NYFA, we forced Bruce Blakeman to put forward a budget that was not full of fiscal gimmicks. Today at NUMIC, Nassau University Medical Center, I'm on the board, but I also chair the Finance Committee. We have already, in this year's budget, which is our first budget, already halved the deficit at Nassau University Medical Center. That's $80 million in savings, in taxpayer money savings. So, on top of that, I was one of the original members of the pro-choice caucus in the state legislature because protecting reproductive rights is very important to me. At the Great Neck Library, I've defended freedom of speech and prevented books from being taken off our shelves. So when I talk about making life less expensive, keeping our communities safe, exposing corruption in government, defending our civil liberties, I come with a record of being able to do that. And during all that time, I was always just one guy. And I'm not afraid to go against the grain. I'm not afraid to go against my party. I was one of the leading and most outspoken advocates for increasing the size of the New York City police force. When I was in the city council, we added, I think it was 1,300 cops one year. And believe me, I got a lot of flack for that from sort of the left wing of my party. But that's what my constituents needed. So one guy, one woman, one person can make a difference if they're diligent, if they're competent, and if they've got a little spine.